For 30 seconds, perhaps even longer, a severed head may still know it has been cut from the body. The eyes blink, the lips tremble, as if trying to form words. The mind lingers in that twilight space where life has already slipped away, yet awareness refuses to let go. This is the moment Anne Boleyn faced, and this is her story. Anne Boleyn, the second wife of Henry VIII, is remembered for one of the most famous beheadings in English history. But the truth was far more horrifying. Her last days were not dignified. They were engineered cruelty. She was not simply executed. She was dismantled, mind, body, and legacy. By the time the blade fell on May 19, 1536, Anne had already been destroyed in every other sense. Arrested on May 2nd, accused of adultery, incest, and treason, charges so absurd they strained belief. She was confined in the very Tower of London that had once echoed with her triumph. Just 3 years earlier, she had prepared for her coronation there. Now the same walls closed in as she awaited the sword. 17 days she remained there, pacing her chamber, sleepless, never knowing when the king's caprice might end her. Every delay, every postponement was deliberate. Henry VIII's cruelty turned anticipation itself into a weapon. A queen who had once commanded England now faced the slow gnaw of uncertainty. The execution as theater. Henry hired a French swordsman for the execution, a gesture remembered as mercy, but in truth it was theater. A stage-managed spectacle meant to awe the court and silence sympathy. Anne endured not just death, but its rehearsal. Yet, even in terror, she bore herself with composure. She joked, she prayed, she laughed, a mind splintering under unbearable strain, clinging to fragments of control as her world collapsed. The scaffold was low, only 3 feet above the ground. Anne would die almost at eye level with the crowd. Outside, a carnival of whispers, craning necks, and jostling spectators awaited. She had already been cut to pieces, her name blackened, her reputation destroyed, her trial a performance of annihilation. The beheading was not an ending, it was erasure. The night before, Anne did not sleep. She prayed, her body shaking with intensity. Yet when dawn broke, she laughed. Laughter as armor, lightness as disguise. A queen splitting herself in two to endure what lay ahead. Sleep deprivation, isolation, false hope, all instruments of destruction wielded by Henry himself. On the morning of May 19th, Anne had been awake nearly 24 hours. She walked the corridors she had once commanded as queen. Courtiers averted their eyes. Guards marched her forward not as a sovereign, but as a prisoner. The scaffold on Tower Green awaited. Tradition demanded a final speech. She spoke, measured and submissive in words, yet defiant in meaning. She died without admitting guilt. The French swordsman stepped forward. Anne knelt upright, blindfolded. Her ladies wept, helping her prepare, hands trembling. One stroke, the sound of steel meeting flesh and bone. Anne's head fell, eyes flickering, lips moving as if in silent prayer. Gasps rippled through the crowd. The executioner lifted her head high, a spectacle of annihilation. her body laid in a crude box, not a queen, but a warning. Henry VIII waited news at Whitehall, already ready to ride to Jane Seymour. Anne's death was not tragedy for him. It was a solved problem. Her name was erased, portraits vanished, her heraldic falcon replaced. Yet even Henry could not erase her memory entirely. Whispers, shadows, rumors of her spirit haunted the tower. Anne Boleyn became immortal, not as Henry intended, not as a cautionary tale, but as a queen who would not be forgotten. On May 19, 1536, Anne Boleyn ceased to breathe, but her execution was not an ending. It was the creation of a myth, a queen reduced to a wooden chest, a head lifted high before a crowd, a silence meant to erase that instead immortalized her. Thank you for joining this journey. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to Mystic Legacy Vault. Tell us in the comments which forgotten figure of history you would like to see next.